Okay, here we go. I've got the giggles now because I started filming this and some crazy person went driving down the street with all sorts of noises and I had to start all over again. And now I can't stop laughing. So, hi, this is Georgia, and I'm here with another quick little tutorial page process for the May online art retreat being run through my Facebook group God's Refrigerator. This month we are focusing a lot on journaling and especially on secret journaling. Girls who know me know very well that I'm a very big secret journaler, so you're going to find out all my secrets and why I secretly journal this month. So this is a bit of a red herring because no, we're not painting galaxies. Don't worry, it's okay. We did that last month. But I just wanted to show you how you can take the same page, same verse, and paint it in so many different ways. So I'm not here to do the scripture lesson, and I'm not going to get started because then we'll go down that road of TMI and we get enough of that in writing. So you all know the verse. We've been there. I am going to move over to, yeah, that was the page in, yeah, this one, we all know this one. I'm moving across now to what I'm calling the Teaching Bible, and we're going to paint, we're going to do a whole page, which is going to include our special little pocket for our secret journaling. But first we're going to create the background. And for our background, we're going to paint an ombre effect or a graduated shades of a particular colour on our page. Girls who don't like to paint over the words, you might want to do this on a separate page in your sketchbook or a piece of card or paper and stick it in as a tip in that you can then tip over, you know, and write on the back of, because this is going to, cover all your words. Except the ones that I'm doing my thing and highlighting a particular section. So we're in 2 Corinthians 12 right now, and I am using the washi tape. When I go off screen, it's because I'm sticking it onto my clothes for a second to make it not quite so sticky, because some of my tapes are so good. The quality is just a little bit too good, and when I pull them off, they stick so well that they tear some of the words off. Kath Townsend, have a look at your challenge. Have a look at the actual verse on my page for your honour challenge and see all the words that got peeled off at the top there. Yeah. Okay, I didn't say anything on the actual Facebook post, but now that I've said it here, you'll go back and have a look and you can have a laugh. So here we go. So I'm starting up here with my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. Not going there, we're not going there. But I'm actually continuing down to the end of this paragraph because it means something to me. So I'm going to keep that clear. Oops, and see what I mean. I did not stick that on my clothes, it's already too sticky. So lucky I had a change of mind there and had to move it. Okay. You can tear it if you want the raggedy look. You can cut it if you want it nice and straight. I usually tear it because I like the raggedy look, but either. So that's protected now and it won't get paint all over it. I'm going to tip the book over. And I'm trying to be tidy and put things away as I use them, because otherwise my desk is just, oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm using dark pink and light pink in just these cheap acrylic paints. I am using white that will blend in with the light. This is the first time I'm using the Stamperia Allegro white paint, so this will be a bit of an experiment. And I'm also, I know it's strange, it is not a shade of that colour, but it's a really nice combination that I like. I'm using Elephant Dina Wakley paint, which is a grey colour. So I am just going to squeeze out a bit of each of those just on my glass mat here. because that's how I roll. Oops, a little bit too much of that one, so we might end up with some extra bits of background cards. That's a little joke for you, Lydia. Lydia knows what I'm talking about. And I wish that the bigger tubes of these paints came in all the colours, because there's just not enough in these little bottles for me. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to go light to dark, light at the bottom of the page and go darker at the top, but then my grey is going to be up the top, which probably does not make sense to anyone, but it makes sense to me, so that's okay. You can do it the other way around. You can have dark at the bottom and go up light. It really doesn't matter. It's your preference, whatever you like. Oh, what I need, page protector thingy. Here we go. That will make life a little bit easier. Moving this over, I'm really hoping this is all on screen. Okay, and easy peasy. I'm just going to put some, I've already painted this page with clear gesso, by the way. You don't have to. Acrylic paints should not go through your page, but you know, always do a test spot. Don't take my word for it. I like to gesso just because, and also because, like I've said before, this is just a regular Bible. It's not a journaling Bible, and so the pages are even thinner. So I gesso them just to thicken them up a bit. So then I'm putting in a layer of the light pink, just on its own for now. Going right over that washi tape. And then up into the spine. And then I'm going to grab some more of the white and just do a bit of a row here and blend them in together. Bring in some of the white up here. Then more of my light pink. I'm not washing the brush in between, so I still got a little bit of white on it, which is blending in with the pink, which is kind of nice. Oh, there's a little blob got in there. Then I've got my dark pink up here. See that again? I didn't bother cleaning the brush, so there's already light pink on the brush, and it's already blending in. I've got all little, oh dear, I think they were little blobs. I think I stupidly wiped the inside rim of my gesso when I was painting this page. And I shouldn't have done that. I did it with the brush. I shouldn't have done that because I think I picked up little bits of dried up gesso and now they're showing up on the page. So I'm getting it a little bit more dark up here because there's too much light pink on my brush. And as I paint down, then I add a little bit more of the light. Just let them blend in with each other. So you've got something you like. Add a little bit more light up here. A bit more dark down there. Now I'm actually cleaning my brush because I need to get some of the light pink without the dark in it, and I also want to wake it up a bit. It's drying too fast, so I want a wet brush here. And that Stamperia paint dries incredibly fast. The bit I've got on my mat has already dried. I've just got some more out. Whoops, should have cleaned that brush there. So I'm just adding some more white down there because there wasn't enough for my liking. And then, now I'm cleaning my brush because I don't want to contaminate the grey just yet. And I'm going to give a little layer of grey up the top. It's a pretty colour, isn't it? It's not really grey, it's a browny grey. Elephant's a great name for it because it kind of looks like an elephant. And then I'm letting them mix a little bit here. Blend them together. together just a little bit. And I kind of like to bring a bit of the lighter colours from the bottom up into the top and just sort of feather them through a little bit. No reason other than because I like it. So when you are happy with your result, you can keep fiddling with it for as long as you like, or you can stop. I'm happy enough with that. What I like to do then is take the washi tape off straight away before the paint dries, because sometimes otherwise the paint dries with the washi, and when you take it off you can have a bit of a disaster. I know it's a bit tricky when your paint is still wet, so you've got to be really careful, but it's kind of worth doing. So that is the painted background. I am going to let that dry. I'm not even going to heat gun it. I'll just let it sit because I have things to do. And I'll come back later when we'll add a pocket for our secret journaling, and then we will embellish the rest of the page. These little bits of leftover paint, this is what I was laughing about before. I always have bits and pieces of spare cards sitting around my desk. So what I do, even this is great, this is a bit of packaging, but I'm going to use that because the other side is really good. And then I tend to just, you know, make my own little, for later on kind of things. So I'm just going to have a play with that when the camera's off, do a little background with the leftover paint so that it doesn't get wasted. And I will see you again soon. Hi everyone and welcome back. Okay, so onwards to decorating the page. We'll talk about this in a minute. What I'm going to do is this is going to come down here. I'm sort of planning the page in advance for once. And I have this paper doily. This is just from a stack of doilies that were given to me by a friend, and I really, really love these ones. They're so pretty and so special. So I want a bit of doily in the corner of the page. I don't want it to be too big because I'm going to put some writing here. So I just want only about this much. So what I'm going to do is sort of cut it really roughly, and I'll fine tune it once I've stuck it to the page. And I am going to grab my clear gesso and use that as a glue. So I'm just going to paint that little area here. Now, normally I put the paintbrush in my mouth, but I can't speak with the paintbrush in my mouth, so I'll put it here with a cup of tea. I don't know if that's in shot. Okay, I'm just going to pop that doily here, kind of where I want it. Just a little bit there in the corner. Yeah. And then I'm just going to give it another coat of gesso over the top. And that gets into all the little cracks and holes. And I just realised I should have done this first. There's some little bits that haven't been cut out. Is she going to fix it? Is she going to make it worse? As usual, she's going to make it worse. Sometimes you just got to leave things alone, don't you? That one's coming up. There we go. Well, got one. 1 out of 3. Not too bad. I'll just get that one out before I get the gesso on it. Okay, so yeah, the gesso gets into all those little nooks and crannies. And I'll stick it down nicely. And if you've got a piece of paper underneath it like I do, move it then before the gesso dries and sticks it to your paper. Yeah, I just know this because yeah, it's happened to a friend. Haha. Never have happened to me. No, never. Never do such a thing. Excuse the noise. I'm just going to give it a bit of a heat gun blow. Get it drying a little bit. And I won't worry too much because while it's drying, we'll get onto something else. Now, the pocket. Yes, if you're going to cut a little dent, do it before you stick it together. I had a bit of a disaster. Then I tried to cut it some more. It's kind of like when you start cutting your fringe and you go, no, why did I cut my hair? Why did I cut my hair? It's getting bigger and bigger and worse and worse. Then I tried to fix it with sandpaper. And it's just like it's scraped away. So I'm going to pretend that I wanted that distressed look. That's what I was going for, okay? Now, I just want to ink a little bit around the outside. And this was a great opportunity to get into the shop and grab a new colour of distress. And I'm using aged mahogany because I wanted a brown to go with this pocket, but I wanted a bit of a red tinge to it as well, or sort of a pinky tinge to it to blend in with the actual page background. And I thought, oh, aged mahogany, perfect. So I'm just a little bit around the outside and over that lovely distressed area at the top there. Okie doke. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this pocket down to my page. Oh, poor little bunny's going to be gone. That bunny's so cute. So with my favourite glue again, and I'm just going to pop it here so that I'm not covering the scripture that I want to keep out in the open, but not too close to the spine so that the page can still close comfortably. And I am going to just hold that down for a minute while the glue does its thing. Okay, and while that dries and this dries, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. Okay, so that's all dried. While the camera was off, I trimmed the doily down to fit the page. A lesson in what not to do. I did that when it was still a bit wet and some of the doily moved and I ripped it a little bit. But that's okay. We won't, if I hadn't said anything, you'd never notice. Now I don't want it to stay white like that, so I'm just getting a tiny bit of each of the paint that I used on the actual page. I only need the tiniest bits. There's the light pink. Need the teeniest bit of dark pink. And the tiniest bit of white. I've decided I really like these Stamperia paints. There's my son stomping through the background. He's not singing today though. And a tiny bit of the elephant grey. And all I'm going to do is just very roughly, oops, sorry about that, earthquake, big major earthquake in Sydney. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a brush over with some paint. No rhyme or reason here, just to give it a little bit of colour. A little bit of grey through here because I like the grey, and I ended up not painting as much of it as I wanted to across the top of the page as I did on the original of this page in my journaling Bible. So I've sort of used that as a template for today, but it's turned out kind of differently as well. So I'm just giving a little bit of dark pink splodges here and there. Doing my usual finger painting thing, that's what I do. Let's just bring in some white there. Okay, and then we will let this dry. And what I want to do is take some of this scripture and write it on the page, as I do. I'm going to use stickers today, alphabet stickers, just because. You don't have to do this. You don't have to write anything. You can write in your own script. You can alphabet sticker. You can enlarge, copy and enlarge the script on your page. Cut it out, stick it. You could stamp. If you've got alphabet stamps, you could stamp. You might do nothing at all. But I think I hear Katie going, yay, she's going to use the stickers. So I'm going to use stickers. And bonus here is any of you girls who are creating this page on our retreat this weekend and who do use alphabet stickers on your page, you can then go, yay, double bonus points, and post your page not only on our retreat event, but you can go over to the group God's Refrigerator, which I know you're all part of, and post your page in the album for our May monthly challenge, which is all about alphabet stickers, as I know you are all aware. So that will definitely count towards the challenge, Alpha Sticker Challenge. So I'm going to let this dry, and when I come back, this will be dry, and you will see what I've done with the alphabet stickers, because I'm not going to bore you and make you sit there and watch me putting alphabet stickers on a page. It takes a while, and it's really, really boring to watch. Back soon. Okay, so I'm going to try and do the whole rest of the page pretty much in one run. So the more I do, the more all my stuff encroaches and the smaller the space gets. Okay, so da-dum. This is all alphabet stickers, and I've used these Doodlebug teensy type. It actually looks like this. I don't know if this is all picking up. It's like one great big giant long sheet, and I cut them in half to fit into my little sticker holding thingy. And it comes with 3 different types of tiny little alphabet stickers, which I like so much. So that's what I've used. I'm going to end up, we'll get to that, but I'm going to end up doing something to make sure that these little squares don't go popping off, because even though they stick really, really well, I'm not being down on this brand because they are a really good sticker and they stick really well. But when you've had stickers for a while, I'm sure you all know, sometimes they lose their stickiness a bit. And I get nervous with these little squares because they're so small and they have these, and they have such sharp edges. If something gets caught in them, I'm always afraid that, and with the page turning, they might come off. So I'm going to seal them with something in a little while. We'll get to that. So first thing I'm going to do is just do a bit of outlining as I do. And just a black micron I'm using here, which is probably a really bad idea because I'm going over the acrylic paint, and microns do not like acrylic paint, and I have killed many a micron doing this, but I'm just doing light in. I'm trying to stay more on the unpainted part of the page. Having said that, so that's enough there. What I want to do is stick a little bit of ribbon on my page, and I have pulled out some of my ribbon stash. I have bits and pieces everywhere, and I've just been kind of wondering what I might use. Whenever I have little bits and pieces left off a roll of ribbon, I paper clip them, or I clip them with a little bulldog clip. So I've got these little bits and pieces for emergencies. This would be kind of pretty, but I don't have very much. It might be a little bit white. And that's pretty, but I think that's a little bit dark. Okay, so I've got two options. And once again, I'm going to try and channel Lydia to give me... Lydia, I need your opinion. It'll be too late by the time you tell me. We should, I'm not serious. Yeah, one day I'm going to try Facebook Living. We'll see how that works. One day when I work out the technology of how to see what's going on that screen whilst filming, and time zones and all that, and then I can go, hey Lydia, what should I do? And Lydia will go, I think, darling, you should use the pink one, or I think you should get this really cool gem one and cut it up. Yeah, that'd be cool too, wouldn't it? I think we're going to start with a little bit of pink like this. So I'm just going to find my scissors, cut a little piece off. Now, if I had a fabric glue, that would be so much better, but I don't, and I think you all know me by now that I'll say, I don't care, I'll just do it my way. It's kind of one of my little issues is that I have to do everything my way. Nobody knows better than I do, right? And that's how I end up having all sorts of crafty accidents, because I don't listen to anybody. I think I know how to do everything myself, and then sometimes I don't. But I have found that the art glitter glue does stick ribbon to your page. So here we go, a little bit of ribbon down there. On the previous page I made sort of like this. I had this really beautiful grey flower ribbon, but I've run out of that one. I'll show you in a little while when we're finished. So cut off the little bit there. I do have one of those fancy pantsy We Are Memory Keepers ribbon cutting devices that has like a heated foil, a heated wire that cuts the ribbon so it doesn't fray. Could have taken it out, but I would have had to open the drawer and find it, put the batteries in. Okay, what if we used a little bit of this up the top? It'd be nice there, don't you think? What if I just cut that one off? This is a Christmas, here we go, it's just called Merry Christmas. I think I bought it from our Spotlight down here, which is a fabric and now homewares as well place. And they had all this half-price ribbon at Christmas time. So I'm just going to stick that down. Oh, I'm not going to go too close to the spine, because otherwise I will have disaster when I try to close the book. So a little bit more glue here, because I don't think I put enough. Can never have too much glue, right? Just hold that down for a second. And oops, ribbon's not liking this. It's not really a ribbon. It's I call it a ribbon, but it's kind of it's almost vinyl, like a vinyl. But I do know it does stick because I've used it in the past. I'm just going to put something on top for a little bit. Move this up because I don't know how much you can see. So I've ended up with this face here. I am going to scatter throughout the page some enamel dots. I'm using these ones. Sorry, I'm having second thoughts. These ones are from Echo Park, A Cozy Christmas. I've got these left over from Look 2. That was by Carter Bella a few years ago. It's a beautiful Christmas collection. But I've used them all. Sorry, I'm ranting. Yeah, I'm going to use some of these because I like the off-white on this. So I'm just going to stick them here, there, and everywhere, kind of randomly. She doesn't know where am I going to stick them. And I'm sort of debating which of the I'll use these because I've got more of them. But one over here. And some of the little maroony ones. Yeah, I'm using my picky thing to pick them up because otherwise I'm going to end up dropping them all over the place. I like these because they're all different sizes. Kind of need something here, doesn't it? But you know, you might have your script written here. You might have a really big journaling card. Your highlighted verse might not be where mine is. Be across the page. Could be the whole page. There is no need to use the same scripture that I have. You can choose your own. Please choose your own. I'd love to see what everybody chooses this weekend. What's relevant and meaningful to you at this point? I'll put a few on the girl here. The other page, very similar to this, that I did in my actual journaling Bible, I used a whole other verse, so there you go. I'm doing the whole tour guide thing again, aren't I? Just chatting away. Okay, so what I spoke about before, I'm just putting a little layer of protection over these stickers. I am going to use the Tim Holtz Distress Collage Medium because I know that if I paint this over the stickers, it will dry and hold very well and almost immediately. I've caused another earthquake, sorry. I keep banging the stand that the iPad's on. I'm just going to paint a little, oh, see, this one's coming off already, so I'm going to paint a little layer of the Collage Medium just over the top of the stickers, just to give them a little bit of extra stick to the page and a bit of protection. You don't have to, of course. And depending on what stickers you use, if you're using stickers, you might have super duper stickers that are never going to come off. It's just these little, I don't normally do this, but these little square ones, they kind of worry me. And I would hate to lose one letter somewhere down the track when I've run out of stickers and they don't make them anymore and then I can't replace it. You can just picture me, can't you? Trying to draw it in myself. Oh no, it doesn't match. What have I done? Okie doke. Now while that's drying, I will just put it aside, and very quickly what I've done is I've cut a piece of card just a little bit smaller than my pocket. So my pocket is 2.5 by 3.5 from memory, I believe. So I've cut it 2 by 3, I think, or 2.25 by 3.25, something like that. Measure out your pocket, measure up something a little bit smaller, make sure it fits before you do anything. If it's too big, cut it down a little bit. This fits just perfectly, so I'm going to put the book aside. And what I'm going to do is just, you know, you could use anything. You could use index card. Kath, you have beautiful library cards, I know, because you've sent me a couple. I actually thought of using one of those, but they were a little bit big, and I thought, no, I don't want to cut those down. You could have paper that has a pattern on it that you like. Notebook paper, anything. I've just used a piece of blank, and I'm going to put the lid on my glue first before it dries out. Okay, I'm just going to ink it just a little bit, just to give it some colour. And I'm using that combination that you girls know I like. Girls and Guy. I'm hoping William's watching too. Hi, William. That combination that I like. Worn lipstick and nice spruce, because I think they'll go nicely with my page. I know they will because I've done this before. Yeah, I know I'm cheating, aren't I? Oh, you didn't see that she's got a hair on there. And I'm not particularly stressing because this is not the important part. This is just the background to give me something to work with. So that being done, I am not going to water activate that. I'm just leaving it as it is. I am going to clean my desk though, because otherwise I'll make a big mess. And then I am going to just approximate that center. It's about there. That doesn't look right. Let's do the back. That's about my center. I am going to grab my little puncher and punch a hole in there, round about the center. And I am then going to thread a little bit of ribbon. This is the the lace ribbon that holds my journaling Bible closed. Some of you know it well. It's been going for almost 2 years, or at least a year anyway, and it's finally falling apart. It's been through a few washes, but from being wrapped around the Bible all the time, especially the part where it actually gets tied up, it's falling apart. So I've got a new ribbon to tie around it. And in the meantime, I don't really want to throw this away because it's so pretty. So this bit here is still absolutely fine. I've cut it. And I'm going to thread it through the hole here. And might have washed it first. Is it too big? Oh, it's too big to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tie it. I'm just going to tie it in a little knot. I like this one because it's really soft. So in a little knot, it will flatten out and soften out over time. I'm going to do that, and I know this will fray after a while, but I'm quite happy with that because I like that vintagey old lace ribbon frayed look. And that will pop right in here. I'm not going to talk about textures and relevance and secret messages and all that sort of thing. I think you girls all know that my pages are so full of secret messages. But here we go. Little journaling card ready for your secret journaling, which you can then pop into your pocket nice and safe. And that is our main project, painted page with secret journaling for our May 2020 God's Refrigerator Art Retreat. Hope you all join in. Thank you so much for watching and have fun, and can't wait to see your pages, girls. Please share, comment below, let me know what you're working on. Come over to the group, join in the retreat, show us your pages. We'd love to see. Okay, thanks, bye. Oops, I forgot one thing. I promised I would show you the other page. So, sorry, just grabbing the other book. I did this sort of based on a previous page, so I'll show you the other one to give you some more ideas. I've actually put a little paperclip ribbon. So here we go. Here's the first one that I did. So yeah, same colour. Here's the little gorgeous girl. Got my note written on front and back. Put that aside now. Yeah, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. We'll pop it back in. Yeah, and this is just a this is a ready-made gorgeous ribbon. Comes in a pack, lots of different little ribbon bows, which I just attached to a paper clip and then washi taped down, as you can see after the fact. So if I thought in advance, I would have paper clipped it and then put the doily on top. But there you go, and that's that ribbon I told you about. I thought that was so pretty. Can't remember where I got it from. Anybody sees it, let me know. Say, hey, Georgia, over here, there's the ribbon, so I can get some more. Okay, this time I'm done. I'm going now. Thank you. Bye.